we will start this new cycle and meeting by really coming into our end as always. So I will bring us into a meditation. So we come into the end state around being a coach, around being a creator, around working with clients. And then I'm just going to be going over some of the different limiting assumptions I saw. And I want to thank you all for your honesty and your willingness to just share that so we can revise it together. Something I really intend on providing, for everyone that's willing, is the ability to really implement the law in everything we do. Have found it so important to implement the law when it comes to business, right? Let alone, a specific person or money or health. I do find each category of my life, for whatever reason, I have beginner's mind when I have to start implementing everyone as you pushed out for a client as well. So I intend on making that a lot easier for all of you, if you're willing and open to that. And then, of course, I'm trusting and already seeing in all of you the version of you that is really allowing the law to work itself into every segment of your life, but especially coaching, especially your clients. It's such a cool place I find for emanations and for seeing like continual movement on a very broad scale, right? Love life, intimate love life is one thing, but with clients or even YouTube, it's such a place for movement. So I intend, for those that are willing and you're here, obviously you teach the law, you live the law. So like, here's another place to really apply it. And I'm happy to guide you through that in any way I can. And of course, guide each other because we are all masters at this. And the more we collaborate, the better. But let's just take a moment to come into the heart. So placing a hand on the heart and the belly. Taking some big breaths in and out. Bringing all of your awareness into the here and now. And coming into the heart space where the version of you that is already in a state of willingness, in a state of courage, in a state of maybe love, maybe joy, is present. And this is the version of you that is a coach. You're a creator. This is the version of you that's living into your calling in this realm of teaching the law, of living the law, of working with other versions of you, guiding them to understanding the law at a better level. So as you come into this knowing, into this state that already exists, where every day, you're waking up and you're looking at what we would consider work here, whether it's creating a video or looking at your schedule to book with clients to work with them that day. You're reading comments, whatever it is. But you're in a state of, again, willingness, joy, courage, power, unity, harmony. Allow your heart to just show you that end right now. The version of you that really is in this blissful, loving, or again, courage and willingness, powerful state of being a coach. What does that end look like? Allow your heart to show you when you first wake up. What do you feel? What are your assumptions for the day as you go to your computer, as you go to your schedule? What fills the heart with joy that you see when you look at that schedule? What fills the heart with joy when you go to look at comments on your videos, views on your videos? What fills your heart with joy when you come to the space, the chats that we have here? What are you seeing in messages from myself, from other coaches that again just fills the heart with joy? What fills the heart with joy when you go to tell others what you do? When you go to look at your bank account? When you go to film content, share content? What fills the heart with joy? What is your truth that you're now on the bridge to? Take a moment just to feel it, see it clearly. Allow the imagination to show you, hey, this is what's ready. And I want you to take a moment to even bring forth your audience and your clients, because they are you. And I want you to literally see them for a moment like they are you. Sure, you see different names and you see different names on your booking schedule or different names in the comments, but you know they are you. Literally reflecting back to you your own wisdom. Just like you love creating content or learning about the law and applying it and then sharing it, they resonate with you like you would resonate with you. They understand you, they feel connected to you because they literally are you. There's no separation. And maybe they're you a year ago, 2 years ago. Right, where, sure, maybe there's still elements in your life that you're assuming into being, as there always will be. But a year ago, right, that version of you that's now in your client needs the information that you are now creating and sharing. They need your specific insights and unique perspectives. You a year ago, 2 years ago, is now watching you on YouTube and is like, oh, I get this. That's what I needed. I'm booking with this person right now. You 2 years ago, a year ago, has a session with you. And because there's just this resonance, this communication, they hear exactly what they need to hear. They're led into the experience through your guided meditation or your theory that allows them to have that next shift for them, the one you needed a year ago, 2 years ago, maybe a few months ago. But you're always holding just that next state that the other yous out there in the audience, out there in viewers, out there in your clients and your schedule need. The reason you're even called to do this is because your perspective on this, your emanation of the law, is needed by all the other yous out there. You're just delivering to an audience that's been waiting for you. You're not connecting to some external audience out there that you have to seek approval from or prove yourself to. No. As you create this content, you are living out the audience within you, the clients within you that are you, that have been asking for this information. You're taking action into the movement that was waiting for you, so all the pieces can finally connect. And it's done in a way that only you can do it. So your audience, your community that emanates out through this channel is just another expression of you. Nothing to prove or work, it's just you being you. And as you allow yourself to apply the law to this, to come into that state, to connect with your audience, your clients that are already here waiting for you, you're relaxing into the readiness. You're relaxing into the wisdom you hold, into the content that is ready to emanate without. It's natural and it's easy and it's you. All your clients are you waiting for you. So take a moment to breathe into your end state. Notice how it feels in your body. And allow all of your clients, all of your audience and viewers and the other coaches alive on the inside to encourage you right now, to remind you of your value, your worth. Let them tell you right now how your information is exactly what they need. And I want you to hear from them like they are you telling you. They're you a year ago, you 2 years ago, you 6 months ago. That new insight you had was exactly what they needed. That video that you shared, they get it. They're you getting you. So just hear that now. Accepting the truth of this. And take a moment to respond, right? Take a moment to respond as this version of you that's like, okay, I get it. My clients are me responding to me. I'm valued and I'm loved as a coach. I'm needed as a coach. The only reason I'm here as a coach is because the desire, the need was already there. My clients already chose me. My audience already chose me. I'm just choosing them back now by bringing awareness into the state. Allowing these inner conversations and assumptions to harden into fact, regardless of circumstance. I don't care. I let go of the conditions. My clients need what I have to provide because my clients are me needing me. And we all came to grow each other just as I helped them. They are helping me. So there's no guilt in that. There's just harmony in that. What I have to say and provide is seen and heard and resonated with me because they are me. Of course they get me. Of course they understand me. My schedule is filled because my schedule is always filled. But now I'm lining up with that. I see it. Okay. It's emanating. It's reflecting. I'm not having to prove or show my worth because there's nothing out there to prove myself to. I'm just coming into the version of me that is understood, respected, valued for my information, as I am. By my viewers, by my audience, by my clients. They are just me. A year ago, 2 years ago, 6 months ago. So of course they get me. Of course they need this. I needed this 6 months ago. I needed this a year ago. So it makes sense that we're all helping each other. And let's take a moment to now also bring through YouTube, the energy of YouTube, the energy of technology. So your laptop, filming, editing. And I want you to go ahead and just animate all of that. Animate YouTube. Animate editing. Animate the phone that you film on or the laptop you film on. And I want you to hear from all these emanations that represent you being seen, heard, and sharing your message. Hear them celebrate you. Hear YouTube celebrate you. Hear YouTube understand you, get you, show you in the best light. This is the vehicle, right, that is emanating you in your wisdom. Your infinite self, your higher self is like, here's the vehicle, here it is. What would you hear from YouTube that speaks to that? Again, what would you see in the comments? Where every comment is you watching you. Every comment is a viewer that is you elaborating on the message that you're sharing, getting you, resonating with you. They're you and they're having their own breakthrough, their own experience, their own success because of you. What does your camera say to you? Your microphone, your laptop. That is the vehicle of capturing you, recording you in your wisdom, sharing it with the audience of you. What does it say to you? And lastly, the version of you that goes to watch back your video. And you are you watching you, and you are just loving yourself. You are validating your courage. You're validating your own message. replacing any judgments or criticism with just total love and acceptance. You love how you articulate your message. You love your courage for putting it out there. You love how it looks. You love how it sounds. You love the resonance of it. You love how tech is so easy for you now. This process is so easy. Where you used to hesitate or procrastinate, it just flows now. It's so easy now. I remember when I used to worry or procrastinate, and now it's just so effortless. Now I look forward every day to filming something new. I love this artistry, this creative expression. And I love that others get it because they are me, so of course they do. I love how quick these emanations are. I love this movement. I love feeling so seen, heard, valued, and respected just for me being me. I love that my personal life and my coaching life are perfect as they are. There's always shifts and changes of states, but I trust myself. I know that I'm always applying the law. I'm doing the inner work, and no matter how conditions look, it's changeable, it's malleable, and it's always what my clients need. I can utilize all this for more content. Just like an artist or a singer or songwriter is inspired by their life, they don't need to have a perfect life. But they allow what's happening to be the exact vehicle to perpetuate their art of coaching, of helping, of sharing a message. Nothing to discard or judge, it's all perfect and full. Breathing into this, trusting this. And let's take a moment to honor the inner child in us, or maybe the inner teenager. A part of you that is still feeling unsure about being seen, heard, valued, that is still putting others out there as the authority, that is still looking out there for approval, validation, that still feels like they have to work or strive to be good enough for some external audience or authority. I want you to lovingly embrace that version of you that's coming up right now, that has been coming up again and again through this process. And as you see that version of you, allow them, and just speak this out loud to yourself wherever you are, or write it down. Allow them to tell you what they are afraid of when it comes to being seen, heard, when it comes to being an authority in your own right on the law. What are they scared of? What worries them? And where do they feel like they're not enough? And with total compassion, just hear them. And if you can, write it into the chat here. Write it into the chat. Or you can unmute and just say it. Scared of inadequate knowledge. Yeah. Yep. Anyone else? Struggling with things in my own relationship, so I feel hypocritical helping others. Yeah. Totally. Me too. Yeah. Yeah. Personal struggles. Yeah. Yeah. So if my life is a mess, how am I supposed to help others? Yeah. I don't have enough knowledge. Who am I to be teaching? I'm just another coach. I saw that. And by the way, everything you all wrote in the forums, I have had every single one of, and still have every single one of those states come up. And their states, and lovingly, this is where we take that inner teenager or inner child, and I want you to hug them. But I want you to hug them and love them as the infinite self that you are. The operant power that you are. The operant power that you are. There's so much compassion and wisdom. What do they need to hear from you right now? What would bring them peace, joy, and expansion? Write it into the chat. What do they need to hear from your infinite self to allow them to relax? And remember that if a thought like that doesn't feel good, it's not your truth. We don't have to play it out anymore. What do they need to hear? You were created from birth with all the knowledge you could ever need. Beautiful. Beautiful. You are more than enough because you are all that is. Yeah. Just say that to the inner child, the inner teenager, and allow them to respond to you. Maybe you've seen their body language change. Maybe they actually say something out loud. How do they respond to that? See if you can allow them to feel the relief of that, of like, oh, okay, that's not true. Thank you. Thank you. If more information is needed, it will come to you. Yeah. These are all such good mantras or inner conversations. And so what I would suggest everyone does, in your own style, like for me, so I filled out the form too. And the last three, like the last question where it's like, make up your 3 inner conversations that have to do with the above. And I did what I would hear and how I would respond. And I just put that on a sticky note. I have sticky notes everywhere. But I put sticky notes on my mirrors or on my laptop, wherever I know I'm going to see them, like literally. There's always just sticky notes everywhere. And I place them everywhere. Because for this cycle, what I suggest is, what you just wrote down plus those inner conversations you wrote down in the form, with what you would hear and always include the response, how you would respond. I would really place those, on your laptop, wherever you go to do your work, and allow that state to just create. Because we know those thoughts, even though they feel convincing, and of course the state will create proof, we know state of being is what matters. And as a coach, just like in your romantic relationships and financial relationships, anything, it's state of being that creates. And it's not about the perfection of I need to be, you all know this, right? Happy all the time, nothing like that. But we do want to be aware of like when I'm shrinking back into that state of like, they won't connect with me, or, right? If my life is a mess, how can I help others? And we don't even need to like, if it doesn't feel good, like to me, the perfect logic is if that state feels like fear or insecurity or really criticism, right? Like judgment and criticism of self. No, I'm not creating any more of that, because I know what I'll see in comments. I know what I'll see in my schedule if I continue to live in that state of judgment. And as a coach, when I live in those states, even though, I've had that voice in the background that's like, well, it makes me better. No. I would so much rather choose, and my greatest work as a coach is to choose confidence and choose love and choose compassion for myself and the thoughts that come from there. And then, yes, I start to see it in the comments. I start to see it in my schedule because it's everyone just echoing me. Always, always, always. And I do find with coaching, this is definitely a place where we find our limiting assumptions around connections, around being understood, being valued, being enough. And especially with law of assumption, if you've been, looking to Neville or other coaches, myself even, where, we all play a guide at one point, just like you're playing guides to others now. But we lovingly also need to look at our relationship to authority. We're like, I still, I love all of you coaching me personally, because you all are truly incredible at this. Like, for real, you all are so good at this. And I remember when I was, in my different certifications and stuff, one of my biggest struggles was taking these authorities and these people that were like, even Neville, I think at the end of the day, I always have to check in where Neville or any coach you go to, if something doesn't feel right for me, my only authority is how I feel. And that's my invitation for you. Let the only authority in your life be how a thought feels. No matter what the source is, Neville, other law of assumption coaches, comments, or like whatever. If it doesn't feel good, that is your inner authority telling you, okay, something's off. Let me revise that. And that to me is how you truly become the authority as a coach of your life, of anything. I'm going to follow my heart and I'm going to follow my emotions over everything. So if something doesn't feel off, all it's telling me is something needs to be revised there. There's a thought or an assumption that it's my responsibility to change. And so if the schedule is not what you prefer, if it doesn't look how you want it to look, then it's a state that doesn't resonate with who you really are. So your only responsibility is to enter the state where if I'm in my most confident, trusting, loving state, what does that look like? Same with content creation, working with clients. What is the state that fills the heart with joy? And that's the only one, right, that gets authority in my world. I'm doubting everything else. So that's my suggestion, invitation for all of you in this upcoming cycle of coaching is let your emotional state be the authority. And if something doesn't feel good, right, as a coach, that is your best opportunity to be like, all right, there's a limiting assumption here. What do I need to revise? And something I will do that you are welcome to try is I will put my phone on, I will press record, and I will walk myself through it like I'm my own client. And maybe I'll even share it. Maybe I won't. I've shared that stuff in the past. It holds me accountable to do it. And then when I listen back, honestly, it helps me trust myself more as a coach. Because if it's like I can lead myself through those things, of course I can lead others. So that's another invitation for all of you is the next time you find yourself struggling, you know, you're about to make content or check your schedule and just that tension comes up. Press record and walk yourself through it. You never have to share it, but if you can coach yourself, there's no one you can't coach, truly. So that's another invitation for everyone here in this cycle, is when you find yourself struggling on anything, but especially any of these, any state that does not feel good, coach yourself through the state. Listen to the most recent meditation you posted. That's something I've done too. I'll listen to a meditation I posted that I wouldn't look at because I was judging myself. And then I press play and I'm like, oh shit, that is what I needed. It was like really good information. And it allows me to build again a more loving inner conversation about myself and my content, which of course then emanates with everyone, right? So as we just come to a closing here, I'm gonna just speak to a few more things at the very end here, just some like technical things, but any like comments or questions or anything in general that any of you would like some guidance on revising for this next cycle. Okay. Technology struggles. I've had to, I mean, at one point in my life, I remember my mic would not, no matter how many mics I used, no one could hear me. And it was such a like assumption after assumption. Oh, those technology affirmations. What I'll say is talk to your technology, do the affirmations. It really is, nothing is outside of the law. As much as we want to be like, well, it's just, no, it's, trust me, it's a symbol. It's all a symbol. My mic, filming, oh my gosh, when I would have to re-record certain things. I mean, there was always assumptions for me, but what helped is another thing I suggest for all of you is I have still like 5-minute meditations I would make of inner conversations And I've actually sent you all the ones that I have on my other channel, which is just for coaches, where like the ones for being booked or the ones for like filming. That's a great one for technology. You could listen to that for inspiration and then come up with your own. But what I would do in between clients, especially when I would have like 5 clients a day and I would have to film too, and I'd procrastinate because I'd be so exhausted and I would just be like really hard on myself and just being a jerk to myself, basically. I would just play these meditations that were 5 minutes, the ones where if I had doubts about clients, I would just hear the affirmations where they're telling me how much success they got. It was just what they needed. With tech, it was, I heard YouTube, I heard my mic, I heard my camera, I heard everything, the lighting. I would even imagine having a whole sound crew and equipment crew. And I had to apply the law, as always, right? My internet is so fast, everything uploads so fast. And then you would find solutions. Like I remember one of my big breakthroughs was I realized I could film on my phone, and then because I'm a Mac user, I can airdrop it so much quicker than having to upload it, right? Or, once you have your own inner conversation, email, which you have when you do one-on-one coaching, you can just use Google Meet, press record, and it saves in the drive automatically, no uploading. But with different tech and different things, that's why you have to come up with your own assumptions that make sense for you. And then as you know, the solutions show. I'm so glad I'm the version of me that tech is so easy now. My flow, start to finish, so easy. I love it. I'm the version of me now. I go to check YouTube and it's just tons of positive engagement, tons of love. The sound, the lighting, everything is so easy now. And as you know, you got to work the law. So repetition. And then I would revise when videos went poorly. I would revise when the recording didn't work. Or I remember one time I had to redo a whole masterclass. Oh my God. And then another time I did a whole masterclass and it didn't record. And you revise it. You revise it. Nothing's outside the law. So I highly recommend making your own. Highly recommend making just like little meditations about clients sending you success, little ones for YouTube. Just apply the law like you do with anything else, everything else. And then the last thing I'll say is like, I'll let you all find your own meaning about, if my life is a mess, how do I help others? And I think that's a big one with all coaches. Like I used to train coaches for another type of coaching. And that was always the biggest thing. It's like, my life is a mess. How do I help others? And I've been there too. And it's really, to me, again, find the meaning that resonates, that feels like confidence, that feels like good with you. But it's like, because my life was a mess and I've navigated to this place, like, look what I've manifested, being able to coach this. I mean, and it came from all those messes. It came from the ongoing messes. Like, that's not a problem because I can navigate through mess. That's why I'm good at coaching. I can navigate myself through states so I can navigate others, right? If anything, we use the paradox, we use the ability of something going wrong to work to your advantage every single time. And whatever you want that to be, whatever resonates with you. But remember, doubt just leads more doubt, judgment, more judgment. We don't believe any of it. The state of love, the state of confidence, the state of courage, that's the state that we're going to live in as a coach. And our only thing to do is find it, occupy the state, just like anything else. And clients will reflect it. So thank you all for joining.